right, John, the Dodgers hit the road for a quick trip right here. 4-game series at Chase Field in Phoenix. The Dodgers and the Diamondbacks facing off for the first time since the opening days of the season, when the Dodgers set the tone for the year with a 3-game sweep over Arizona. And for a while, Arizona was below 500. We're down near the bottom of the standings, but have taken off early over the last month. And we welcome inside after weeks off to a great start. Joe Davis and Noah Hershiser. The Dodgers and Diamondbacks playing the first of 4 tonight.
Yeah, it's going to be a good series. You know, the Diamondbacks think they can win this series because, you know what? 2 of those losses in that first series were 1-run losses, and they've played much better baseball than they did at the beginning of the year.
Dodgers coming off taking 2 of 3 from the Phillies, a 5-1 homestand, and just about everything going right lately as they've won 14 of their last 17 games.
Yeah, this is really a time of the year when the Dodgers are playing their best baseball, and when Ohtani gets it going, and Betts gets it going, and Freeman gets it going, it's the top of the order. But the Dodgers offense has been good through the bottom of the order. And then the defense, well, the run prevention has been off the charts. They're in great positions, and they're using their gloves and their arms to get a lot of outs. And speaking of arms, it's the starting pitching that's been really good, the bullpen that's been good. They pound the strike zone. They're elite with their pitches, no matter if they're fastball or they're off-speed stuff.
So pretty much take your pick why the Dodgers are sitting in first place. Tonight it's going to be Emmett Sheehan, who quietly has been solid lately. 6 innings, just 2 runs his last time. For more on the starting staff, we go down to Kirsten Watson.
Thanks, Joe. Well, they often say that starting pitching sets the tone, and if we look at the month of May, they did just that. Since May 13th, the starting rotation, they've got an 11-2 record with a 2.23 ERA. They have been excellent. But Dave Roberts today, when he was talking about the group, he said what the difference has been, the difference makers, that's the back end of the rotation. That's Emmett Sheehan, Roki Sasaki, even Justin Robleski. Those guys have raised the floor, and they feel very confident with whoever starter takes them out that they're in a position to win each night, guys.
All right, Kirsten, so Sheehan for the Dodgers, Eduardo Rodriguez counters for the Diamondbacks in the first of 4. And, of course, it'll be Shohei Ohtani to lead things off for the Dodgers from Phoenix when you come back. Yeah! Back-to-back world champion Dodger baseball on Sportsnet LA is brought to you by Carl's Jr. The real sourdough star is back at Carl's Jr. You can get it for just $5.99 for a limited time. And by your Southern California Lexus dealer, who invites you to test drive a Lexus today. Ready to start this 4-game series at Chase Field here in Phoenix. And Shohei Ohtani to lead off, and so many things have gone right lately. Dodgers winning 14 of their last 17, and Ohtani in that time hitting .393, coming off another 2-hit game yesterday. The lineup presented by your SoCal Helpful Honda dealers looks like this, with Ohtani to lead off, and then Andy Pages hitting second in center field. Freddie Freeman's at first base, followed by Mookie Betts at short. Kyle Tucker in right, coming off his best day in a while, with Will Smith doing the catching. Max Muncy at third, hitting 7th. Miguel Rojas, the shortstop, and Alex Call in left field, hitting 9th. Eduardo Rodriguez has signed a big 4-year contract a few years back. In his first 2 years in Arizona, he had a +5 ERA, but he's 5-1 with a .231 that puts him 5th in the National League.
He's throwing the ball really well, coming off a very hot May. And he did face these Dodgers earlier. You see the 1 run. It was not earned, the 5 Ks and the 2 walks. And the arsenal that he threw against the Dodgers, it really was the changeup that dominated the Dodgers. It only gave up 1 hit. And he has been throwing it really well. When you talk about his improvement, it's with the leadoff hitter of an inning, it's with runners in scoring position, it's with putting guys away with 2 strikes. He's really been exceptional, and he gained a lot of confidence, I guess, from the WBC.
Yeah, he started the championship game against Team USA for Venezuela, and what he said was the most meaningful game that he's ever pitched in. Remember, this is a guy who's pitched in 11 postseason games, 3 games in the World Series with the Red Sox, but everything that was on the line for his country. And then to go out and pitch the way that he did, he says he's built off of the confidence from that, especially important after 2 years where he struggled so mightily. He said to go out and do it on that stage against that lineup was a reminder that he can still be that guy.
It's like pitching in an all-star game against that Team USA. These guys that were dominant, and he was ready for them.
Kind of like pitching in an all-star game here, too, against the Dodger offense coming off a 9-run output yesterday. Ohtani 2 hits in that ball game to extend his on-base streak to 16. And leading off against Rodriguez, no balls and 2 strikes. Wasn't just Ohtani though, it was up and down the lineup. Dodgers had 9 guys get a hit, 7 different guys scored a run, and they scored in 7 consecutive innings. First time they've done that in 4 years. Fourteenth win in their last 17 games, and so their lead over the Padres 5.5, the largest that it's been this year. Suddenly within a game and a half of the Braves for the best record in baseball. On a 1-2 from Rodriguez, Ohtani bounces one left side to Nolan Arenado's had a wonderful first year with the Diamondbacks. Across to get Ohtani for the first out of the night.
These Diamondbacks were playing so well over the last month or so that they were kind of toggling back and forth with San Diego on who was in second place behind the Dodgers.
Yeah, the Diamondbacks taking care of business against the teams they should beat. They'd won 10 of 11 against the Giants and the Rockies with a really soft patch of the schedule there. Eddie Pages fouls off the first one, and then they went up to Seattle over the weekend and got swept by the Mariners. Still, though, when you break the season in half, roughly, they started the season 17-20, 14-7 in their last 21 games, though. One of the best teams in the league in that stretch.
How they go is how their pitching staff goes. The offense has been pretty consistent, a little softer up in Seattle.
Yeah, offense pretty consistently just, but the pitching went from 28th in the majors in that first stretch we were talking about to 3rd over this 14-7 run. The 1-1 to Pages is grounded to 3rd, and back-to-back chances for Arenado to start this game. 2 out. It brings up Freddie Freeman, who always loves hitting in this ballpark, working on a win presented by the Home Depot. One of the best hitters ever at Chase Field. Double whammy because he's also one of the best hitters ever against Eduardo Rodriguez. 10 for 17 against the Diamondbacks lefty.
Freddie, one of those hitters that doesn't care if you throw left-handed or right-handed, it's still got across the plate. He's got such good discipline of staying in against lefties, not flinching on the breaking ball. Like that right there. Front shoulder staying in. Even though that ball came out of Rodriguez's hand like it could be at his head or his shoulder, he stays right with it, reads the spin, stays in there, able to launch the bat.
On a 1-1 pitch, Freeman pulls his hands in on a sinker that misses. Ball 2. Knocked in 2 with a pair of sac flies yesterday. Also had a base hit. On base streak 14 games for Freeman. Rodriguez delivers. Freeman swings and misses. 2-2.
Freddie had a good pass at the breaking ball, and Rodriguez goes, okay, have a good pass at that. We're going to have to throw 2 fastballs in and get you flinching a little bit.
Doing whatever he can to make life a little more difficult on a guy hitting .588 against him. To second, and on a short hop, Marte. Not an easy play right there. 3 ground outs induced by Rodriguez. A 1-2-3 first. And the Diamondbacks come to bat against Emmett Sheehan when you come back. Couple all-stars over the top of this Diamondbacks lineup. Marte to lead off, then Corbin Carroll. Gerardo Perdomo trying to get his season going after a top 5 MVP finish last year. Arenado, Pavin Smith returns from the injured list. Moreno does the catching. Vargas, Barosa, and Troy down at the bottom of Torey Lovello's order. Emmett Sheehan for the Dodgers. His first pitch of the night is a fastball high 1-0. 2 runs over 6 innings against Colorado in his last start. Struck out 8, walked just 1 in that game. Top 10 strikeout rate in the National League this year.
Arizona he faced earlier, it was one of his rougher outings, and it was the fastball that got hit around in that one, but it is a much different fastball now, so I would expect some improvement on those numbers here tonight.
That was his first start of the season. Really, his first few starts of the year wasn't quite right. Here's what he used against Arizona, but to your point, last 4 starts, the league's hitting just 125 against his fastball. It was above 400 prior to this stretch. Here's his 2-1 to Marte. On the ground to first, Freddie Freeman takes it to the bag, and it's been about 75% fastball or that pitch right there, his slider.
A lot of this Dodger rotation has gotten down to being elite at 2 pitches each of them, and Emmett has chosen the fastball and the slider. Always had high whiff percentage and swing and miss percentage on his 2 pitches. It's getting even better. The thing that's really just bit him is the home run ball, and these Diamondbacks, they don't hit many of those.
Corbin Carroll, one of the guys that does, has 7, and the first of those 7 came against Sheehan. Opening weekend at Dodger Stadium. Carroll, who broke his hand during spring training, hardly had a spring training. You look up here 2 months into the year, and he's having one of his best seasons yet. 25-year-old, 4th full year in the big leagues. Debuted at the end of 2021, helped get the Diamondbacks to the World Series for the first time in a couple decades, 2 years after that. The 2-0 from Sheehan. Carroll fouls it off, 2-1.
First 2 hitters, Emmett's got him at 2-0. I'd like to start pitching the other way, get him to 0-2. Pitching uphill against some tough counts so far.
Got a fastball by him there, 2-2. Against Colorado last week is the first time all year that he's thrown the fastball more than half of his total pitches. And the Rockies went 0 for 8 against it. Better and better, and then best his last time. Let's go over 2-2. Hooked down the right field line, and Corbin Carroll, who is as fast as anybody, will chug his way to second with a 1-out double.
This is a really good piece of hitting. It's a slider down, probably below the knee, almost shin high, but he just goes down there and gets it. He's got the bat up, and straight up and down bat means really good low ball hitter. Usually the gravity of the bat coming from that angle can go down and get the ball and get underneath it. And he is fast, but got into that corner quickly, Kyle Tucker, and kept him from getting 3.
Which he does more than anybody. Brings up Geraldo Perdomo, who finished top 5 in MVP voting last year. He had 20 home runs. He was a .290 hitter, but he's at .224, which is 3 home runs this year. Said the swing looked extra big. One of those cases of a guy thinking, okay, I'm a power hitter now, and changing who he's always been. Flies this ball to right center field. Andy Pages has it spotted.
This is Arizona's offense right here, hitting with runners in scoring position. They're 3rd in the major leagues with this, and this is how they produce most of their runs. Carroll gets the double, but now they got another opportunity here.
4th worst when it comes to hitting home runs, but 3rd best in these situations with runners in scoring position as Arenado climbs in. Coming off a series where the Mariners completely shut him down, especially the last 2 days. Diamondbacks scored 3 runs total and went 6 for 51 as a team against one of the best pitching staffs in baseball up there. First one to Arenado is swung on and missed. Got a chase on a slider.
Sliders low and away and fastballs up the ladder.
With another slider low and away, and the count evens up. On the 8-time All-Star, who had been going in the wrong direction last few years in St. Louis, he gets traded over here to the Diamondbacks, and he says he feels energized. Best he's performed in years. Just had an 18-game on-base streak come to an end yesterday. On the 1-1 from Sheehan, he takes a strike on the outside corner.
That one might have been a little wide. Caught a gift right there. Arenado did not want to challenge it.
Nothing but sliders away so far. Carroll dancing around at second as the 1-2 comes home. They stay out there.
It's kind of refreshing not having an ABS challenge already.
Man, that was something yesterday, huh?
Wow.
One shy of the record.
Thought we were going to get the world record.
Yeah. They even had a Guinness representative out there getting ready to
authenticate it.
Book. Yeah. Sheehan looking to pitch around the Carroll double. Here's his 2-2 and a fastball spot back into the play. Do they still print those? Guinness Book of World Records?
I don't know if it's a website now or they haven't been in a bookstore in a long time. I would think they would.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a pretty major company.
Stays away with the slider, and Arenado offers for strike 3. So clearly that was the plan against him, and he strikes him out to finish off a scoreless first. Back in Phoenix, the Allstate Good Hands replay. Marte made a nice play on Freddie Freeman to finish off the Dodger half of the first inning, and then to open the Diamondbacks half, Freddie Freeman took one from Marte. Said, "You got me, I had to take care of you." So to the second we go, where Mookie Betts leads off and takes high from his old Red Sox teammate Rodriguez. Betts coming off an interesting homestand. You look at the last 5 games. In 2 of them, he had 3 hits, and the other 3, he didn't have any. Confidence component to that. We know how hard Mookie is on himself, and if a snapshot into that head right there, you get 1, you're going to get 3. You get 1, you start feeling good, and it snowballs. But on those days where he's searching for it, you still got to look up and see the average below 200 overall. Not feeling great about yourself. Talking to Robert Van Scoyoc and the hitting staff, they feel like he's close. Behind here, 1-2. Pokes one to right. Carroll comes on, won't get there. Leadoff base hit for Mookie Betts.
I know it was an ugly swing, but the whole at bat, he got into the box and looked very athletic. And I love it when he's a little loosey-goosey in the, just kind of playing with his ability and playing baseball, not worrying about mechanics. It's well done, Mookie.
Dodgers have their first base runner as Kyle Tucker climbs in, trying to build off his 2-hit game yesterday. RVS was saying about Mookie, you know, I know we talk about him needing to pull the ball in the air to make the most out of his frame and what he's got, but he said Mookie at his best is a hit collector. And so to look up and see his average below 200, that's jarring for him. And if there's a way that he does stand out, it's his ability to square up the ball. RVS says he stays through the ball without flipping his top hand. A lot of hitters fall into that from time to time, and that's something actually on StatCast they can now track, how well you square it up, how often you do. And he's led the majors 3 years in a row, the rate that he squares it up. So far this year, the rate's even higher. So when they say that they feel like he's close, that's because he's doing what he always does.
Well, the fact that he just flipped that breaking ball to right field tells you that he's actually kind of working through the ball, because there's enough swing and bat out there, even though he's fooled. If he's spinning off and the front side is flying open and he's coming over that kind of pitch that's on the inside, middle, or away, he's not going to reach that ball.
Tucker patiently finds himself into this 2-2 count. It was a good day for Tucker yesterday. Went in, won for his last 16. He had the on-field batting practice that we talked about a lot on Saturday, something that he never does, and didn't get the results from that Saturday night. But not only did he get 2 hits, but he had a couple of his hardest hit balls all month.
And it might have been a ground ball down the first baseline that hit the bag that kind of loosened him up between the ears. You get a fun hit like that, and you leave the batter's box as a left-handed hitter, and you see it hit the bag and go into the outfield, and you go, okay, maybe the worm has turned.
Where does that come from, that saying?
The
worm has turned.
I don't know.
I can't answer my other question. You can get the Guinness Book of World Records on Amazon for $29.99.
I figured Amazon was going to be involved in that one.
Big lead at first for Betts, not going, and the count goes full on Tucker.
The worm has turned. I know where I've seen worms in my life turn. It's when I put them on a fishing hook. That's when they start squiggling like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
As far as relating to your luck changing,
comes from an old English proverb back in the 16th century. Tucker earns the walk. That's another good sign right there. Dave Roberts has talked about his over-aggressiveness, and not that he's going crazy in terms of aggressiveness. He still swings less than your average hitter, but he's always at the very top of the leaderboard of the most patient guys in baseball and hasn't been that. So to see a walk come back into the picture, another good sign. First to have reached for the Dodgers here in the second inning. Up comes Will Smith, who also has started to point the arrow in the right direction. Great numbers against the Diamondbacks in his career, 80 games, so pretty much half a season. He's got 20 home runs, a 40 home run, 110 RBI pace, roughly.
those highlights we showed were him hitting the ball to the big part of the field. To the right field, to center field, and left center. Best when he works the ball up the middle, even though he is so good at pulling the ball.
Yeah, it's funny. We were talking with Dave Roberts about that before the game just today. Because he does talk about wanting to elevate the ball, but Dave said, I like him best when he's doing this, and this is the highest line drive rate he's had in years. He's using the opposite field more than ever. So those don't necessarily need to be looked at automatically bad. Now, if you're flaring him over there, sure, but he's doing it with a lot of line drives lately.
Yeah, he's hit a lot of balls hard to center field, right center, and right field on a line that were caught.
He's got Betts at second, Tucker at first as Rodriguez brings him a 1-2 pitch. Smith pounds it in the air, deep center field. Barossa on the run will get there. Another deep drive the other way that'll put him at the corners with one out.
It's a good approach. It's a good barrel on that ball and hit hard, but we've seen a lot of this from Will Smith. The numbers aren't mounting, but the quality of the at-bat is.
First and third one gone, and up comes Max Muncy, who's looking for more of these opportunities to cash in with runners in scoring position. He hit his 14th home run yesterday, but almost impossibly just 21 runs batted in with 14 home runs. It's by far the fewest runs batted in for anybody in baseball with that many homers.
Well, he can hit Rodriguez's fastball, and if Rodriguez happens to throw one of those lazy curveballs like he threw to Freddie Freeman, it could be a 3-run homer.
Oh, 0-2.
Left on left changeup. You better have a good one if you're left-handed doing that. Tom Glavine was the first one to really kind of break that out and bring it into the big leagues as he lost the velocity on his fastball at the end of his career.
Rodriguez throwing that changeup more than ever. It's been his best pitch. League hitting just 193 against it as he reaches the back part of his career. Now in his 11th season from the Red Sox to the Tigers. Now his 3rd year with the Diamondbacks. 20th pitch of this 2nd inning after a really quick first. Along first, and they're going to come home with it and get bats. Ildemaro Vargas makes a nice play to keep it a scoreless game.
Well, we usually talk about jumps in the outfield, but this is a good jump by the first baseman to react to this ball and keep his momentum going towards home, and then a wrong foot accurate throw. That is well done. Easily we've seen that ball thrown away by a lot of people that don't understand the difference between the footwork and just kind of pushing that ball towards the catcher.
Well, that's a guy over there in Vargas world that has hardly played any first base in his career, and this year's grading out as one of the best in baseball. 2 on 2 out, and Rojas takes in the dirt for ball 1. It's been quite a story. 34 years old, released 7 times. Vargas has. He was leading the majors in average at the start of May. He was hitting above 400. Bat has cooled off considerably the last month, but he's been really valuable still because of his defense over there. It's a buddy of his at the plate right here in Miguel Rojas. These guys first got acquainted playing winter ball together in Venezuela. I say together, but against each other. And Miguel was telling me that even before this breakout this year from Vargas, he always thought if he got a chance, he was going to be a good player. Really well respected over there in Venezuela, captain of his Winter League team. Rojas smacks it up the middle. Perdomo gets there, throws from his backside, but late. An infield hit for Rojas, loads the bases.
Infielders, of course, have to stay on the dirt before the pitch, and then they don't get as much range, but this is enough range as you dive and keep the ball in the infield to prevent the run.
Dodgers trying to do what they did yesterday and get things going with the bottom of the lineup. Look out over there. First base umpire Stu Sherwater. Alex Call knocked in 2 with a base hit yesterday. Leading the National League in on-base percentage with an average above 300. He's got Tucker at 3rd, Muncy at 2nd, Rojas at 1st. And he takes high.
If he drives in a run with a walk, it's going to be a great bat flip.
Always is. You know he's not going to help Rodriguez out in a situation where there's nowhere to put him.
He was taken all the way those first 2 pitches.
Call is 10 for 19 against left-handed pitching. Ahead 2-1. One of the reasons they acquired him, not to hit .529 against lefties, but to succeed against them. The biggest role that he's had in his short time with the Dodgers here currently, with Teoscar Hernandez on the IL. Bases loaded, 2 out, a 2-1. Late on it. That fastball playing up. Normally low 90s, but 95 right there.
And getting swings and misses like Sheehan in the strike zone. Another fastball or to change up.
Here's the 2-2. Lofted down the right field line. And foul. Stuck with a fastball. Bottom of the order, one of the biggest differences comparing last year's Dodger lineup to this year. Last year, bottom third of the order had a 660 OPS. This year, it's 800. You take that out of the top 3 of your lineup.
You sure would.
Another 2-2. Call. Fights it off, but going to be playable for Vargas, and the Dodgers leave him loaded. Emmett Sheehan finished off that first inning with a strikeout of Nolan Arenado. If he and the Dodgers get 7 or more today, everybody gets a free Jumbo Jack tomorrow with the purchase of a large drink at LA area Jack in the Box restaurants. Top 10 strikeout rate in the National League. He gets more swing and miss than anybody in the National League. It'll be Pavin Smith to greet him here in the second. Down the middle with a fastball as Smith makes his return from the injured list. Elbow started bugging him opening week of the season, and they shut him down just 2 games in. He had surgery to remove some loose bodies in there. Watches a curve miss, and the count evens 1-1.
Misses are part of Sheehan's game, but he does get the chase and he does get the swing and miss, and that one could have been a strike.
Ahead with a fastball, 1-2.
There's the chase right there, which he got 4 in his first inning out of the 17 pitches he threw.
Normally you think chase, you think all the breaking stuff in the dirt and everything, but he does get so much of it on that fastball that looks so juicy to hitters, and then winds up just a little bit above the zone. It's really when he found out that he had that kind of fastball and started to embrace the fastball up when he was at Boston College that he took off as a prospect. Here's his 2-2 to Smith. Got him. Slider works like a cutter for his second K.
Yeah, for the height that it was thrown at, it really had good depth. This has got very good bite for something that starts waist high.
Arizona's catcher Gabby Moreno stands in at 265 on the year. His 4th one in the big leagues. Shows bunt, takes a strike. They say every year Moreno comes into the year saying, all right, this is the year that I bang, that I start to hit for power. And it takes him about a month, and he realizes that's not who he is and probably not ever going to be who he is. He comes to terms with it, and then he starts hitting for average again, like he is right now. 354 over his last 13 games. Sheehan ahead, 1-2. Missed a lot of April with an oblique injury, and it's a different team when they have him, especially when he's doing what makes him good. And that is hitting line drives, being a run producer in that way. Also his Gold Glove defense. He's been injured pretty much every year. And so there have been some stretches where you look like last year. Arizona missing out on the postseason just barely. They were without him for a lot of last year. It's probably a different finish if they have him for the full year. But broken finger last year. He's only played 100 games 1 time, and that was the year they won the pennant.
Very hitterish, and you can see why, with his swing, why he believes he could be a home run hitter, but it just doesn't pan out that way.
Another 1-2 from Sheehan is a little high.
If you're his manager or his hitting coach, you tell him, you know, we're going to fine you if you hit a home run. Just go the opposite way instead of incentivizing him.
Lays off the breaking pitch. Count goes full. If you are thinking I'm a home run hitter, you're probably swinging and missing at that pitch.
Exactly.
Take strike 3. 3rd in a row for Emmett Sheehan.
Slider gets the swing and miss off of a lefty, and then Gabriel Moreno goes down with a slider looking.
Halfway to Jumbo Jacks already. 3 of the 7 that he and the Dodgers need. 2 up, 2 down in the second inning, and up comes Vargas. We're talking about on the defensive side last inning. 34 years of age, parts of 10 seasons in the major leagues with 5 different teams. He's never played more than 90 games in a season, so a textbook journeyman. DFA'd 7 different times. He's never really gotten the chance that he's gotten this year. Carlos Santana goes down opening weekend with a groin injury. Vargas, who had just barely made the team, steps into his spot and starts the season with a Venezuelan record 27-game hitting streak. And it's like, who is this guy? But again, like I said, Rojas and other people that felt like they knew him said we sort of could have seen something like this coming. Maybe not a 27-game hitting streak, but a legit player if given the chance. Pops this one into shallow center field. Mookie Betts is there, and Emmett Sheehan has a 1-2-3 second.
Head to MLBshop.com to score the Dodgers' new gold jerseys and caps, plus check out the largest selection of authentic gear from all MLB clubs. From the dugout to your doorstep, grab official on-the-field merchandise just like the players wear at MLBshop.com.
Top of the order for the Dodgers in a scoreless game. Top of the third. Rodriguez to Ohtani with ball 1. Shohei started this game grounding out to third. As fresh as he's been in a long time, mechanics finally in a good place. Been using the whole field more. Shohei, of course, has talked about his posture, really subtle differences in posture, either leading to him not feeling right or feeling locked in. And I was talking with Robert Van Scoyoc about that today, and he said, I don't know chicken or the egg or what leads to it. I just know the whole swing looks a lot better. So whatever it is that unlocks it in his head, he said, I don't really care. I just know that it's back to really close to his very best. Drives this ball to left center field, headed for the wall and off the warning track. Leadoff double for Shohei Ohtani.
Okay, we don't care what it is, chicken or the egg. Well, this is very nice posture. Because when you're hitting that ball away from you like that and you're hitting it that strong with that kind of balance, look, he finishes the rotation of the swing and he is balanced in the box. He's not running towards first like a left-handed hitter that's falling off the ball. He was very centered.
You mentioned the word balance. In that same conversation with RVS, he was talking about the things that every good hitter has in common. Pages gets this off the end of the bat. Shallow center field, sinking, but a diving try from Troy that comes up empty. It gets by Barossa. Ohtani's at third and Pages is at second. Dodgers get a break right there.
Full swing. We've talked about it all the time. Tough read for outfielders to get a good break, and the good break comes down to a step or two, but he had plenty of distance. He just flat out misses it.
Tommy Troy, who has not played much outfield in his life, it's an infielder that's moved out there to find a home on this big league roster, and it looked very much like that's the case right there. So see if the Dodgers can take advantage. Second and third, nobody out. That first and second, nobody out last inning, couldn't score. Freeman shoves it left side. Arenado thought about coming home, instead goes to first, and the Dodgers on the board first. Freeman drives in Ohtani, and it's 1-0. Yeah, they're coming out aggressive here in this inning against Rodriguez. Betts, who had a base hit last inning, and lately 1 hit has meant 3.
Mookie now being patient compared to the last 2 hitters. Swung at the first pitch.
Takes a strike, 1-1. Just to wrap up that thought about Robert Van Scoyoc saying, like, everybody's stance looks different, swing looks different. but there are a few things that everybody that's good has in common. You mentioned the word balance on Ohtani's swing. He said that's number one. Balance, he said independence of the hitter's hands, without getting too detailed into the biomechanics of that, but the ability of the hands to work freely and whip through the zone. And then the barrel staying in the zone for the maximum amount of time.
And the independence of the hands are that they don't move with the front shoulder or they don't move with the front hip, that they actually are in an independent lever system that fire after the front foot lands and the hitter is in balance with a dynamic balance, ready to fire the bat. Movement to throw a baseball properly from the pitching mound, movement to hit a baseball properly by moving the bat. A lot of it is the same.
It does. I remember we were going through our checklist yesterday of what makes a good pitching delivery. There are a lot of similar ideas to it.
Yeah, the load, the balance, the posture, first movements. What you talk to is very important as far as in your mind's eye. Some hitters and pitchers will talk to their front shoulder. Some hitters and pitchers will talk to their back leg. It's like the one thing that fixes five, not the five things that are wrong. What's the master class in what's the one thing I can fix that'll fix everything?
The root.
Yep. Do not coach or try and fix your symptoms. Try and fix your foundation.
Payoff pitch from Rodriguez to Betts. A pop up for Vargas. That's out number 2. A word from Carl's Jr.
Hit the road, Jack. It's the return of the real sourdough star at Carl's Jr.
Brings up Kyle Tucker with the Dodgers ahead 1-0. Diamondbacks getting used to playing from behind. This is the 6th consecutive game that the other team has struck first. On the ground to first, and Vargas will gobble it up and take it to the bag. The Dodgers get back-to-back doubles to start the inning, but settle for just one. Back-to-back world champion Dodger baseball on Sportsnet LA is brought to you by your local Kia dealers. Visit kia.com to discover movement that inspires. Dodgers have the first run of this one as we go to the bottom of the 3rd. Emmett Sheehan goes back to the mound. 3 strikeouts over 2 scoreless.
The slider is a foundational pitch. We know the improvement of the fastball, which is really good, but the slider has been with him all year, and it's with him again tonight. 3 strikeouts with the slider, 2 were swinging.
8-9-1 coming up for the Diamondbacks here. Jorge Barosa, light hitting center fielder to lead off, then Troy, then Marte. Everybody's got a turning point that they can look at and say that's when I started to head where I've gotten to. And for Emmett Sheehan, that was, I think, for a lot of people, and especially athletes that we look at these days that were coming up, it was during the pandemic when they were left to their own devices to either get better or do nothing. Pop up on the infield. Call from Muncy, and the catch from Muncy. He was 2 years into his career at Boston College at that point. He was not very good. He had an ERA north of 6 his first couple of years. Sitting there thinking, I know there's more in there. I know I can be better. And then the pandemic happens. Everything gets shut down. And Emmett says, here's my chance. So he moves home to his mom's house, turns the backyard into his own training ground. He put a mound in there, built a makeshift gym, used just the chain link fence as his catcher, and used that so much that he destroyed the fence and had to enlist some of his friends. But the point is, he would spend every day trying to get better. out there throwing, working out. He would watch YouTube videos, interviews with guys like Garrett Cole, Jacob deGrom, them talking about how they think about pitching, how they approach hitters, and thinking how he would apply this to his own game once baseball resumed. And he came back the next year a totally different guy. A little more than a year after he had a 6 ERA, he was a 6th round draft pick. One ball and 2 strikes on the rookie Tommy Troy. Curve is grounded to short, and Mookie Betts. Good pick by Freddie Freeman. 2 out. Diamondbacks to get their second look at Sheehan. It's Marte. Homered against him in the opening weekend.
Be careful on this first pitch. 2 out, nobody on.
That was interesting.
Oh, I guess he was going to think with 2 outs that he's going to come on.
There's the home run opening weekend against Sheehan.
Looked like he was going to slash it down the third baseline. Forget the home run swing, huh?
Marte hitless over the weekend in Seattle, but the 2 weeks before that, as hot as he has ever been. He had an 11-game hitting streak where he was hitting above 500. He's been with the Diamondbacks for a decade, came in when Torey Lovello did, and Torey says this guy's had some all-star stretches, been MVP candidate. Never has he seen him do what he was doing in that 2-week stretch. They said every hard hit ball, I mean every ball he's putting in play was 110. Hitting balls to areas that nobody had ever seen him hit. Dave Roberts has called him through the years one of the most underrated guys in the league. Been here a decade now. A bit of a complicated time in that there have been trade rumors throughout that decade. Sprinkled in there, though, 3 trips to the All-Star game, starting second baseman for the National League All-Star team, MVP of the NLCS during their pennant run. Flies this ball to right center field. Pages gets there. And Emmett Sheehan has retired 8 straight.
Purchase a special ticket package and receive your exclusive Pride Night jersey. That'll be on June 5th, presented by Blue Shield of California. Visit Dodgers.com/promotions for more information.
Well, the Dodgers with a lot of traffic through 3 innings, but only 1 run to show for it as we go to the 4th, and Will Smith fouls off Rodriguez's first pitch. A little bit more of the same for Smith his first time. Hit a 105-mile-per-hour bullet to right center that was caught by Barossa. 318 with a pair of home runs over a 7-game on-base streak for the Dodger catcher.
Dodgers have been picking on Rodriguez's breaking stuff, his off stuff, beat stuff. They are 0 for 5 on his fastball. They're 4 for 8 with 2 doubles off the other stuff.
Roxon fires 0-2 in the dirt. Wearing the number 57 of the guy that he idolized coming up, Johan Santana, fellow Venezuelan, who is the pitching coach on Team Venezuela that won the WBC. Smith pokes a line drive center field, and another nice play by Barossa to take a hit from him. Yeah, you can make a highlight tape is not the term for it, but some wonderful evidence why it's going how it's going for Will Smith just in his 2 at-bats today.
That's a nightmare tape. Doing everything you can to hit the ball hard, and happens to find some warm bodies out there in the outfield, especially the center fielder and the right fielder.
Muncy lays off, 1 ball, no strikes. Rodriguez, who is naturally right-handed, switched to teach himself to throw left-handed when he broke his arm as a kid and didn't want to take a break from baseball. Down the line, Troy is over. Out of room. It didn't stick, but you did that too for a while?
Yeah, as a 10-year-old, I started throwing curveballs too early, and I was going through a growth spurt. My elbow separated on my right arm, and so I taught myself to throw left-handed and played second base. And still got to hit and play second as a little leaguer. Fortunately, the elbow came back together after the growth spurt. And I stopped throwing curveballs until I was about 14 or so.
How long should kids wait?
It's a really hard one because not many people even know how to teach it properly. Everybody's trying to throw it with their wrist and their elbow, and it's really a good one you can throw from your shoulder.
First strikeout for Rodriguez, 2 gone in the 4th.
And you shouldn't be changing kids' arm angles as they grow up either, because their rotator cuff muscles in their shoulder are not strong enough to get their arm up. Everybody's like, well, he's got to get his arm up. He's got to get his arm up. Yeah, go ahead. Get your arm up. Shoulder bone is going to get rubbed into all the soft tissue, and they're going to end up with sore arms. Just let it gradually come up as they get stronger.
Rojas had an infield hit his first time and is now 7 for 9 against Eduardo Rodriguez in his career. Rodriguez, guy that will try to bust him in, and that's where Rojas typically likes it. Said he did notice, though, facing him first time this season, he stayed away. It's different than he had ever approached Rojas. Hit that he had against him his first time up was on a pitch in.
Batter's challenging the strike call.
Gonna get a challenge here from Rojas. ABS powered by T-Mobile.
Pitches the ball.
How is it humanly possible to get that right? Way to go, Miggy.
Flips the count in his favor, 2-1. He's going to challenge again. Double or nothing.
I think he gets this one right. This looked low. This looked like shin high.
Back to back.
I don't know why he's thinking about retirement with those eyes.
And the fans love it. Three and 2.
Borderline, but it was a strike, and Miggy didn't challenge.
Here's the payoff. Rojas takes strike 3. Oh, let's go.
I think it's a strike.
Batter's challenging the strike call.
Three challenges in one at bat. He goes 2 for 3. And Rodriguez goes 1, 2, 3. Back-to-back world champion Dodger baseball on Sportsnet LA is brought to you by Jack in the Box. Get fired up with the Hot Ones Munchie Meal. Emmett Sheehan has retired 8 in a row, and 9 of the 10 that he's faced. The lone guy to reach is the one who leads off the 4th, and Corbin Carroll. Carroll doubled in the first inning. Since then, 8 up and 8 down for Sheehan. You're going into the year, you figured the Dodger rotation was going to be good. You look and see Yamamoto and Ohtani being full-time pitching, and Glasnow and Blake Snell coming back. Well, half of those guys have been on the IL. In the air the other way. Back goes Call. He's got room for the first out of the fourth. Robleski's been a huge surprise. Sasaki lately has been good. Quietly, Emmett Sheehan has been really good. And starting pitching period, the biggest reason for this 14-3 stretch. The starter's 11-2 with a 2.23 during this 14-3 run. The bullpen even better. The bullpen has a 1.82 ERA in that time. One gone, Perdomo. And for Sheehan, 2 years removed from Tommy John, really just a year removed from just throwing bullpens. Didn't make his return until late June last year. And it often is with guys coming back from Tommy John, that first full year where they really start to get back into what they were.
Yeah, there's something about when you come back, even though you're pitching at the big league level and you're healthy, the caliber of your bullets, the speed of the game, the rhythm of your mechanics, you're still working through things. But then when you get a full off season of strength training, you're not really rehabbing, you're working on your whole game. You come into spring training and then all of a sudden you can hit your stride. It's not a profession where you can have endless hours of practice. There's only so many pitches in a day you can throw without hurting yourself again. And so you've got to concentrate on every time you cock your arm. You've got to concentrate on every little movement that you make and posture that you're in. And then you also get the chance to work on your body some more.
Paez gets turned around a little bit, adjusts, and makes a slick basket catch right there. Willie Mays style. 2 out in the fourth, and a word from Morongo.
Laugh it up with Chico Bean. Live August 8th. Morongo.
Twisting, turning is the little basket.
Arenado started him with a curve, dropped it in there for a strike. Oh. Fastball bears in on the knuckles. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Our two guys that really pitch with their curveball was Snell and Glasnow, both hurt. Everybody else, other than Ohtani goes fastball sweeper mainly, but the rest of the starters really do not use the curveball other than just kind of steal a strike. Yamamoto, Sheehan, Sasaki, just kind of just drop it in there. The guys who really pitch with the curveball, Glasnow and Snell.
Weak pop up, shallow right field. Out goes Rojas. He'll put it away. And another easy inning for Sheehan. Back-to-back world champion Dodger baseball on Sportsnet LA is brought to you by your Toyota dealers. We make it easy. First trip to Arizona this season. Dodgers have a 1-0 lead to the top of the 5th. 9-1-2 coming up against Eduardo Rodriguez. Alex Call popped out with the bases loaded and the second inning. One day after the Dodgers scored 9, just the 1 run back in the 3rd on a ground out from Freddie Freeman after Ohtani and Paez went back-to-back doubles. Count evens 1-1. 2-2 to call. Pokes it past the bag. It's a fair ball. Vargas able to get there and beats call to the bag for the first out of the 5th.
It was on almost an excuse me double as it possibly hits the bag or scoots down the line, but Vargas turns it into an out.
Shohei has extended his on-base streak to 17 games and scored the lone run. He's got his second hit. So he's cranked a double to left center field and now served a single into center. Where things were not right, it was ground ball after ground ball to the pull side.
He stays in, he gets jammed, but he is so strong that he can push it over the infielder's head and stay short of the outfielder.
How about Andy Pages living right the last couple days? He had a triple that traveled about 100 feet yesterday. And then today a little pop-up that turned into a double. Gives him 10 extra base hits in his last 9 games. Throw down to first, so Ohtani's in there all right.
Little double right here. Off the end of the bat, full swing. Should be caught, but an infielder slash now outfielder misses it. Ooh.
I think it got closer to catching him than he got to catching it.
I don't know if he lost it in the roof a little bit or his eyes were bouncing up and down as he was running, as he's at the end of his route.
Ball 2 on Pages. The calendar turns to June. You start talking about all-star voting. All-star game just a little more than a month away. Doc was saying today he thought last year Andy started to press a little bit when that conversation began. That he doesn't see any signs of Andy slowing down the rate he's been going. Starter for the National League in center field last year was Pete Crow Armstrong. PCA is hitting .240 and just a league average hitter when you're looking at OPS. The closest competition is probably going to be Michael Harris of the Braves. Harris actually has better offensive numbers, but the defense not nearly as good as Pages has been. Lineup where it's easy to get overlooked. Talk about all the MVPs, the stars around him, but he's found his way into the 2 spot in that order. Plus is the fact that he's just not going to say much, not going to call any attention to himself. So the hitting's going to have to do the talking for him. On a line to center field, Barossa having some fun out there tonight.
We saw him rob Will Smith. This one not quite a rob, but a very well done play. This one stays in the air a little longer. Hardest part about that is just when you contact the ground, can you keep it in the glove?
Two outs for Freeman. The Will Smith ball that Barossa caught had a 92% hit probability. That one had a 71% hit probability. Barossa playing the eraser out there. And what is his first start in almost 3 weeks? Freeman's knocked in the lone run in this game with a ground out his last time. Challenge from Moreno.
Catcher's challenge in the ball call.
It's not high. It's definitely over the plate. Top of the zone.
Pitch is a strike. Arizona has 1 challenge remaining.
Be glad to get a strike call out of that because that could be a home run pitch. You don't want to throw that one there again. Hanging breaking ball in the inner half with very little break. Wasn't sharp at all.
From a guy who has crushed you historically. And Freddie Freeman. 10 for 19, 4 extra base hits, including a homer. Gets under this one. And in left field, Troy. Halfway home in Phoenix. Dodgers by a run. Happy 84th birthday to former Dodger Ken McMullen out of Oxnard High School. Graduated from Oxnard 2 years later. He was playing for the Los Angeles Dodgers in the early 1960s. Decade and a half in the big leagues as a third baseman. Couple different stints with the Dodgers. Winning a World Series as a rookie in 1963. Pavin Smith takes the ball from Emmett Sheehan. And then came back later in his career. He was Ron Say's backup at the hot corner, but an awesome pinch hitter. So happy birthday to Ken, who after his playing career ran the Ken McMullen baseball camps throughout Southern California. He lives in Camarillo these days. Ball and a strike on Smith. Emmett Sheehan has 3 strikeouts. He has mowed him down, retiring 12 of the 13 that he's faced. Smith was one of those strikeout victims the first time. On the ground to second, Rojas. One gone in the 5th, and this has been ho-hum for Emmett Sheehan. Get a word from Jack in the box.
Get fired up with my new Hot Ones Munchie Meal with a Sriracha Curly Fry Burger or Buffalo Chicken Tater Melt.
Welcome to Jack in the Box.
Well, we've gotten used to this. The starting pitchers over the last 4 starts, including Emmett, the batting average against them is just over 100. So they've really eliminated any big threats. If you're going to score off these guys, it's usually a big fly. Nobody is stringing 2 and 3 hits against the starting rotation now.
In fact, during that stretch you're talking about, they're giving up about a hit every 3 innings. Coming inside to Moreno. Fastball is a little bit high.
One thing that's different for Emmett in this start is he's used to a lot of run support. He's 5th in the National League in that support with over 6.5 runs a game. Tonight, working with just 1.
Good run support throughout his career. His ERA is right around league average, just above 4 for his career, but he's got a 13-5 record. Moreno worked a long at bat his first time before taking strike 3. 2 strikes on him again here. Off balance, little pop up. Center field, Pages. 2 gone in the 5th.
Diamondbacks chase a lot. They don't walk much, and Sheehan is really capitalizing on that.
Diamondbacks 3 runs the last 3 games, 7 for their last 66 as a team. Vargas, who popped out his first time. Healthy rip and a foul back. And while Diamondbacks have needed some great defensive plays, it's been a pretty routine day for the Dodger defense. There's only been 3 hard hit balls against Sheehan.
Balls hit 95 miles an hour off the bat or more.
Here's his 0-1. Vargas fouls it off himself. Ouch.
That was a hard hit ball right there. Hit yourself.
And you hold your breath thinking about everything he's been through to finally get this opportunity. Oy. 19 years in pro baseball for Ildemaro Vargas. Started back in 2008 with the St. Louis Cardinals. They released him before he got close to the majors. Went into independent ball, hoping that he'd get another shot with an affiliated club, and that's when Arizona signed him for the first time. They eventually let him go, signed him again, let him go, signed him again. He's got more hits than anybody in AAA Reno's history. That's not necessarily a distinction you want. Enough time to AAA to rack up numbers like that, but they keep on bringing him back. They say he's just such a hard worker and a good presence no matter how much he's playing. Getting honored for that patience and for that positivity. The way that this year's gone, good to see him smiling after what had to hurt bad.
That inside part of your shin there is one of the lowest blood supplies of your body. So if he gets a bruise there, it's going to take a while to get rid of. Shin splints are terrible pain. "66 pitches" is being very efficient. Usually gets a lot of swings and misses, but not tonight. He's being efficient with his pitch count. He only has 5 misses tonight.
Chopped down the line, foul. Get out of here, he said to that baseball.
He's not going to foul that one off his leg.
No. Another 0-2. Fly ball to center field. Another routine play, and nothing but soft contact against Emmett Sheehan tonight, who's faced just one more than the minimum through 5.
Be one of the first 40,000 fans on June 6th and get your exclusive Tyler Glasnow Starter Series bobblehead presented by Blue Shield. Visit Dodgers.com/promotions for more information.
A run on 5 hits for the Dodgers, no runs on 1 hit for the Diamondbacks. To the 6th we go, and Mookie Betts takes a strike from Eduardo Rodriguez. Middle of the Dodger order here. Lone run came in the 3rd. Back-to-back doubles from Ohtani and Pages, and then a ground out from Freeman. 0-2 on Betts. Who's 1 for 2? Another good outing for Eduardo Rodriguez in a bounce-back season for the 33-year-old. Fly ball right center. Barossa on his horse again. Flags another one down for the first out of the 6th. A word from Nissan.
This Dodgers broadcast is sponsored in part by your Southern California Nissan dealers.
Been too many big contracts for pitchers that have not gone right for the Diamondbacks in recent years. Back to Madison Bumgarner, and then Rodriguez signs a 4-year, $80 million deal. First year he hardly pitches because of a shoulder problem. Had a 5 ERA when he did. Last year was healthy, but had a 5 ERA again, and it was looking like another disaster of a contract. Here comes to Kyle Tucker, strike 1. Only to have him turn it around here and not just perform well, but turn into a leader. And they say that he's really embraced that, as he's kind of looked and said, okay, I guess I'm at that stage of my career where I am that guy. Fly to left center field. Tommy Troy waits on it to get Tucker.
Rodriguez is really leaning on his 4-seam fastball. The Dodgers are now, after that fly out, 0 for 9 on it.
Another guy to show that you can do it without 99 and 100.
Well, that confidence in the WBC that he gained brought some confidence in that heater. It doesn't have to be 98, 99 to succeed.
He's retired the first 2 here in the 6th. Then now Will Smith, who has had some garbage luck in this game. A couple great plays by Barossa in center. Smith's got to be feeling like he should be 2 for 2, but is 0 for 2.
He needs to hit a blooper for a base hit. Start to try and even the books, but it's going to take a while for this year to even the books as hard as he's hit the ball, not gotten hits out of it. Keeping the ball away from him. Backdoor breaking ball. Now that change up. Going out there again.
Velocity way up tonight. His average below 92 on the year. He's 93.6 tonight. 3-1 to Smith. In there for strike 2.
And an ABS balk right there by Will Smith.
Yeah. Here's the payoff. And there's strike 3. Feathered a changeup over the inside corner. Performance Spotlight, sponsored by your Southern California Nissan dealers. Emmett Sheehan has been in control.
4 hitless innings coming into this one. The only hit he's given up is in the first inning. He has been outstanding with both the fastball and the slider.
Barossa leads off 8-9-1. Strike 1. Started him with a slider.
Here's all the 15 outs and what he's thrown at. I don't know why the guy's running to first, and I don't know why he's backing up third, but these are outs.
I think he's just getting out of the frame so you can see the outs better. He's doing it for StatCast. He had the problem early on this season where his velocity would fall off as starts went on, but it's actually gone up throughout this one. His last inning, 96.5. On the season, he's averaged 93, 94. Way up there. This has been a low stress day on these fielders. 1 out. I mean, he's certainly broken a sweat.
It really has been smooth sailing. First 2 hitters of the game, he went to 2-0 count, and since then he has been complete command.
Only 1 base runner for the Diamondbacks. The double from Carroll back in the first. Here's the 9-hitter Tommy Troy. Came up last week when Gurriel was placed on the injured list. Had 2 doubles in his major league debut. First-round pick from Stanford a few years back. Batting champion there in the Pac-12. Hit .394 his last year. Turns on this ball. Sends it to deep left field. And his first big league home run has tied the score. Well, that has been the way to get to Emmett Sheehan. And the Diamondbacks have tied it as Sheehan gives up his 10th home run this year. Rare in that it comes against a right-handed hitter. Most of the damage had come against lefties. So back to square one. Back to the top of the order in Marte. 1 ball, 1 strike.
We saw that memorable moment with Ryan Ward last night. The Diamondbacks get to see something special. Fastball up in the zone. He gets on top of it. It's right middle, slightly up. That's the way he hit him in college.
Only 5'9", 195 pounds, but some pop in that bat. Big smiles and congratulations as he gets back into the dugout. Tommy Troy, the 5th. Sheehan to Marte with a 2-2, and it's foul.
Emmett Sheehan has given up 28 runs this year, 17 by the home run. Over 60%.
You're going to give up more home runs when your best pitch is your elevated fastball. Spoiled by Marte.
Well, for the two-seam guys, they're always saying, get the ball down, get the ball down. The four-seam guys, like that last pitch, there was a home run. It's like, get the ball up. The ball's too low.
Trying to put Marte away. That's in the air to center field, but no big deal for Pages. Got him with a changeup. 2 gone in the 6th. Still a splendid outing, just colored by the lack of run support. 1-1 here in the 6th.
But because he's been so efficient, he might have a chance to go out there for another inning, maybe even 2. Who knows? Give his offense, get in the dugout and give his offense another opportunity to put him on the hook for a W.
It's gone into the 7th inning 1 time this year. Went 6 1/3 against the Cubs back in late April. Strike 1 with a curve to Carroll.
That outing, he went 101 pitches. So he's still got plenty in the tank if they want to push him. That is the only outing that he's gone over 100. With 2 out, nobody on, make him beat you to the opposite field or the big part of the ballpark. Don't let him pull anything.
Pounded to the ground to second, and Rojas. That's it for the Diamondbacks in the 6th, but they break through and tie the game. The 9-hitter Tommy Troy with his first career home run. Back-to-back world champion Dodger baseball on Sportsnet LA is brought to you by Shakey's Pizza Parlor, serving up handcrafted pizza, crispy fried chicken, and famous Mojo potatoes since 1954. Got a brand new ball game here, tied at 1, and got a brand new pitcher for the Diamondbacks. Taylor Clark takes over for Eduardo Rodriguez. You may remember Clark from early on in his career here in Arizona, where he was one of their top starting prospects. Didn't really work out first time around. They shipped him off to Kansas City. But he's come back here out of the bullpen and thrived. He gave up 4 runs on opening day at Dodger Stadium. 1 run in 25 games since.
A lot of sliders, a lot of change-ups. And really, if he's going to throw you a fastball, it's going to be more like a cutter.
Had a Max Muncy 0-2. Muncy's 0 for 2 today, hitting out of the 7 spot. Yeah, he's down on strikes.
Changeup that he'll throw almost 25% of the time, and it's got really good depth there.
A pinch hitter for Rojas. It's Alex Freeland. Coming off a big day yesterday, doubled to start the scoring and then launched a home run. And now deployed as the pinch hitter with the righty on the mound.
left-handed, the stronger of his two sides. We saw him get one at bat last night from the right side, but the damage was done hitting left-handed.
Let's get a word from Pizza Hut.
Los Angeles fans know who the real MVP is of game day grub, because no one out-pizzas the Hut.
Dodgers only one base runner over the last 4 innings. All kinds of traffic first few innings against Rodriguez. Only managed the 1 run though. And chances few and far between since. Strike 1 from Clark. Quickly 0-2. Figures to be in the lineup the next few days does Freeland. 3 right-handed pitchers for the Diamondbacks the rest of the way. Soroka tomorrow, Gallen on Wednesday, Ryan Nelson on Thursday.
Probably see Ryan Ward out in left field for Alex Call with those righties.
Changeup misses away. This time he got him. Back-to-back Ks for Clark.
He was really a spin machine. Throw the cutter, the changeup, the slider. He's going to be trying to move the ball around. Nothing straight.
We were talking about the 2 platoons, Rojas and Freeland at second base. He exercises the change with the different pitcher on the mound for the second base position, but he lets Call bat for himself here instead of Ryan Ward. Call the better defender. Clark's 1-0. In for a strike, 1-1. Fly ball left center field, pretty well hit. Barossa on the run, still going to the edge of the track. He's got it. A 1-2-3 7th inning for Taylor Clark. 7th inning stretch brought to you by Sit and Sleep, SoCal's most trusted mattress store.
Be one of the first 40,000 fans on June 16th and take home your Dodgers soccer jersey presented by Bank of America. Visit Dodgers.com/promotions for more information.
Freeland, after pinch hitting, remains in the game and plays second base. Emmett Sheehan remains in as well. 85 pitches, just 1 run over 6 innings on a solo home run. Perdomo leads off. And it takes ball 1 from Sheehan. Alex Vesia is warming. Perdomo, Arenado, and the left-handed batting Pavin Smith due up in this 7th. Got the call right there. It's 1-1 on Perdomo. As you mentioned, 100 pitches just 1 time this season. The only other time that he pitched into the 7th against the Cubs on April 24th. On that day, he struck out 10. It's been a different attack today. Just 3 Ks. Pretty much all soft contact outside of the home run from Troy.
Not getting as many swings and misses, but getting the weak contact on Chase where they made some contact. Like that pitch right there.
Got 3 swings and misses in the first inning. He only has 2 swings and misses in the 5+ innings since.
This is the only cat and mouse game that they have played. When they've gotten to 2 strikes, they step out late. Ohtani will take his timeout outside the batter's box. Diamondbacks will step in, get ready, and then step out right at the as the clock or looks like you're about to start.
Back door just misses. Three and two on Perdomo, leading off the seventh for the Diamondbacks. Sheehan comes home. Grounded to second for Freeland. And the first out of the seventh.
Another example of his efficiency as he goes 6+. It was only the second 3-ball count.
One away. Arenado's the hitter. 0 for 2 today. Hit an 18-game on-base streak prior to yesterday. Hits a high drive to deep left center field. Call is back with Pages. It is gone. And on a pair of solo home runs, the Diamondbacks have taken the lead. They only have 3 hits in this game, 2 of them home runs though, and it's 2-1 Arizona.
All 3 of Nolan Arenado's at bats in this game have been with 2 outs and nobody on. And it is a be careful time with veteran home run hitters in those situations. 3 tries at it, and this one he connected. It is a bad taste in your mouth to throw the ball and get all of the execution and results that he had and then be leaving the game down by a run.
He retired 15 straight between the first and the Troy home run last inning, but 2 of the last 5 batters that he faces go deep. Diamondbacks have turned this game around 2-1 in the bottom of the 7th inning and a couple solo shots, and we go to the bullpen. The call to the bullpen is brought to you by Jacoby and Myers. The Pen over this 14-3 stretch has a 1.82 ERA.
One of the guys they've called on the most is Alex Vesia. He has been outstanding as far as keeping the ball in the ballpark, inherited runners, but right here, the number one thing that he does really well is strike people out. That would be nice to see.
And he'll face a pinch hitter instead of Pavin Smith. It's Jose Fernandez, who got called up a little earlier than they wanted to because of some injuries and was awesome over his first few weeks, but has cooled off lately. 2-1 Diamondbacks, bottom 7. Vesia's first pitch is fouled off. Alex Vesia, 8 consecutive scoreless games. One of the top left-handed relievers in the National League.
Got to the big leagues with his optical illusion fastball at the top of the strike zone, but so far this year his slider and his changeup are his best pitches as far as batting average results. Changeup, the league only hitting 143 off of it. The slider, the league is only 1 for 23.
30-year-old from outside of San Diego in Alpine, California. Home with an 0-1 to Fernandez. Got a swing and a miss on that changeup. Vesia's 0-2. Fernandez stays alive, getting to another changeup. Top of the order due up for the Dodgers in the top of the 8th inning. the offense has kind of gone back and forth lately. Look at the last few days. They had just 3 runs on Saturday. Then they explode for 9 yesterday, only to find themselves with 1 through 7 today, as he sits down Fernandez for out number 2.
You know, the Dodgers really, when you look at the overall production of the offense, they want to smooth out the bumps, because there are 10 games where they've scored 10 or more runs. And then there's some other games where they've scored 3 or less that kind of end up in the L column. You'd like to level it out where they're more in the 4 to 6 range, a little bit more consistently.
Moreno takes upstairs. And the Dodgers had all kinds of chances early on in the game. First 3 innings, they had 8 at-bats with a runner in scoring position, but only had 1 hit since.
Then their run was scored with a ground out. They got 2 hits with runners in scoring position, but didn't score.
You know, it's looking like a key play is Vargas coming home to get Mookie Betts.
Yeah.
Dodgers had first and second, nobody out in the second inning. And then they had runners at the corners with 1 out. And Betts was thrown out at home trying to score on a grounder to first, where Vildemar Vargas, the first baseman, made a really nice play. Change gets a swing and a miss, 1 and 2 on Moreno.
Here's that play. Wrong foot throw coming in, charging. He had a great jump on the chopper off the home plate area. And Betts is out by about a couple of feet. Was barely trying to avoid the tag and go wide, but couldn't get in there. Plays in center field, plays from the first baseman.
That has been one of the big strengths of this Diamondbacks team throughout the years, their defense. Two. Hit hard, but Muncie's got it. And that's it for the 7th inning. But the Diamondbacks take the lead. It's an Olfo and Arenado that gives it to him. Top of the order, and Ohtani when you come back. Back-to-back world champion Dodger baseball on Sportsnet LA is brought to you by Morongo Casino Resort and Spa. Less than 90 minutes from wherever you are. Good times. Top of the Dodge order coming up, trailing for the first time. Dodgers got a run in the 3rd. They've had just 1 base runner since. Diamondbacks getting solo home runs in the 6th, then in the 7th. Brandon Garcia, the new pitcher. The lefties on for Ohtani, Pages, and Freeman. Strike 1. Ohtani 2 for 3. He is that lone base runner the last few innings. And he's down 0-2. He's
going to have to lay off the sweeper right here, I think. There's a ball out of hand. There was an easy take. Going to see it again sometime in this count, I would think.
Bouncing ball right side, not hit hard. Marte can't get it. Only chance was with a bare hand, and he couldn't get it cleanly. Ohtani's got an infield hit. Tying run aboard to open the 8th.
He stayed in and took the sweeper away, got the fastball here, and he was busting it right away. He smelled hit as soon as he hit this thing. He is out of the box compared to the double we saw in the left center where he had balance. This one with a lefty on the mound, a fastball in. He got a little half a step start, made it count.
Tying run on. Pages up. Sends a fly ball the other way, but not deep. Carroll. And now Freeman. Ohtani's 6 stolen bases in 8 tries this year. His last successful steal May 16th. He's 0 for his last 2.
Garcia's fastball is a sinker. It could leak into the inside part of the plate, and Freeman could turn on it. That's where he pitched Ohtani with the fastball, tried to go fastballs in and sweepers away.
Freddie trying to extend his 14-game on-base streak. He has knocked in a run tonight. The ground out in the 3rd. Conservative lead at first for Ohtani. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Dodgers looking for only their 3rd hit with a man on base. They are 2 for 11 with a little traffic out there.
Grounded to first. Vargas steps on the bag. Tag play. Double play. And just like that, the 8th inning is over. Don't forget to stay tuned when this game finishes for Access Sportsnet Dodgers, presented by Mercury Insurance. It's a tight one, 2-1 Diamondbacks to the last of the 8th inning. And a double play to finish off the top of the 8th.
Another play by Vargas, 2 by the first baseman. The toughest part of that one is the feed to second to not hit the runner. And then we've had 2 really good ones in center field that have shut down this Dodger offense.
Jack Dreyer making his return from the injured list. Still tomorrow, Vargas leads off, bottom 3rd of the Diamondbacks order, and strike 1 from Dreyer. It's good to have back. 10 consecutive scoreless outings for him. Ahead 0-2.
Jack of all trades, master of all. You can put him in any situation. High leverage, low leverage. You need a little bit more than an inning. You can go that.
Well done there with the Jack thing.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
I really didn't even plan it.
No, you didn't.
That phrase gets the wrong meaning in the general public. Jack of all trades, master of one. It's better to be a jack of all trades than a master of one, meaning you're more well-rounded. So the Diamondbacks were down, and they have had a lot of comeback wins. They are actually 2nd in Major League Baseball with comeback wins. Well, the Dodgers are 3rd in Major League Baseball with comeback wins, so now they have been set up for that.
Vargas hooks it to left field. Alex Call's got it. 1 gone in the 8th. Dodgers swept the Diamondbacks to open the season. And now this 4-game series here, Arizona trying to come back to win it. And do it against a good team. They've been rolling against the Rockies and the Giants, but then, you know, just when they get excited about that, they go up to Seattle and kind of get put in their place by a first-place team in the Mariners. They're looking at this as a measuring stick for the turnaround that they've made, the improvements they've made. Strike on Barossa.
Well, you were talking earlier, you and I, between innings, about how much healthier they're going to get.
Yeah, some big guys coming back. They've got A.J. Puck, one of their top relievers, due back within the next couple weeks. Corbin Burns, the big one, coming back from Tommy John. And then position player-wise, they're going to get Gurriel back soon. Jordan Lawler was off to a good start. He's due back. Chopper to 3rd for Muncy. Takes his time, tossing it across. 2 out in the 8th.
And that's some talent they're going to get back. A lot of people, a lot of experts around the league, where they started, where they are now, still picking them as at least a wild card team.
One of the stars of the night, Tommy Troy, first career home run, tied the game.
Almost swung himself out of his helmet, but he got the ball out of the park.
And now lays a bunt down, and after a home run, he's got a bunt hit. Showing off the full range of his game.
He really scampered down the first baseline. He got the bunt down accurately, and then it was gone. Look at, as a right-hander, that's almost a drag bunt as much as he got out of the box with that first step. Picking him up and putting him down.
Gets Marte another at bat here. Marte better against lefties. Switch hitter. Fouls off the first one. Troy leaning over at first. Charles eyes him. He takes off. Here's a high line drive to deep left field, and it is gone. Four runs on 3 home runs for the Diamondbacks.
Breaking ball that's down, and he gets down and under it and lifts it. He knew it was gone as soon as he hit it.
Carroll pops it up. Smith has room, and the inning comes to an end. Well, they're 27th in the majors in home runs. Not what you expect. The home runs telling the story tonight. Back-to-back world champion Dodger baseball on Sportsnet LA is brought to you by your Southern California Ford dealers. Discover the complete Ford lineups. Rugged, stylish, and powerful trucks and SUVs engineered for your adventures. Paul Sewald on to try and close it out for the Diamondbacks. Mookie Betts takes a strike. Mason Miller leads the National League in saves, throwing his 101-mile-per-hour fastball. Sewald second with about a 91-mile-per-hour fastball. 1-1 on Betts. That's 1 for 3 today. One of the 6 hits for the Dodgers. 4 of those 6 hits came over the first 3 innings. With 1 more than the minimum since the 3rd. Grounded to short, Perdomo. 1 away. Series will continue tomorrow. It's Eric Lauer making his 2nd start for the Dodgers, trying to build off an encouraging first one. Michael Soroka, 7-2 in his first season with the D-backs. Here's Tucker. Strike. Challenge from Tucker.
Batter's challenging the strike call.
Dodgers have 1 left here in the 9th inning. Might as well. And it just did.
Pitches the strike. Los Angeles
So they're out of
exhausted their
challenges.
challenges.
Nothing in 2. D-backs got Paul Sewald in 2023 for their pennant run. Closer for a couple years. Last year went to Cleveland and then Detroit. Diamondbacks set a major league record having 17 different guys get a save last year. Yearning to have him back, so they went and got him again. And he was yearning to get back to his form from that first season with the Diamondbacks. He really struggled last year so badly that he wasn't even on the Tigers postseason roster. Breaks his bat. Rolled it to Marte. 2 out.
Just a 2-pitch guy with the fastball and the sweeper. Little funk in the delivery, but with just 2 pitches and neither one real dominant, you got to hit your spots, and that's what he's doing.
Yeah, and it's up to Will Smith. Last chance for Will to extend his on-base streak, 7 games. Check swing, strike 2. Fly to right center field. Barossa will settle under it. And the Diamondbacks take the first game of this 4-game series by a final of 4-1.
A comeback win for Arizona, a 4-game series. The Dodgers will have to get back in their winning ways tomorrow.
3 home runs from one of the lightest home run hitting teams in baseball to turn around a 1-0 ball game and make it a 4-1 Diamondbacks win. Now 15-7 over the last 22. Burrow Hershiser, Kirsten Watson, and the rest of our crew. Joe Davis saying so long from Phoenix. Stay tuned for Access Sportsnet Dodgers, and we'll talk to you again tomorrow night.